All right, it's back. We're back. It's the finals. Pro Tour invite on the line. Sounds like the players are antsy to get things going, so I think we're going right down to the match. No time for Becky to even comment.
Ah! It's okay. I don't need to say anything. We just need to watch Magic. Let's go.
All right, we have confirmed your mic is back working again.
Yes.
So
I believe.
Nathan Steuer playing Black-Red Death Shadow undefeated on the day versus Connor Mullaly, Green-White, Titan, Reclaimer, Druid, Valakut without any Mountains deck.
Yeah. It's a mouthful, but we were just calling it Green-White Titan, though we also saw quite a great showing from it with no Titans literally just a second ago.
Yeah. The Titans don't even need to be in the deck.
No. Apparently. You can just win with cool land interactions.
Yeah, okay, so we see here Connor's opening hand, and he's on the draw. A little slower of a hand, but there is Eldarmy's Call for Skyclave apparition can be a setback on Nathan's early offense. Mm-hmm. And Nathan's a deck where if you don't take any damage yourself, half of his heavy hitting creatures can't even be cast. So
that's true. So maybe this is really smart.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he has one of his haste creatures. He does have a package of those also. Mm-hmm. And there is one of them.
Speaking of,
right,
we did see a match Nathan Steuer played where he just won like a burn deck with Paris with Spirits and some lightning bolts. So that is totally a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately for Nathan, he has a 1-drop creature, as Turn 1 Thoughtseize this game would not have been nearly as good as it has been some of the other times. Mm-hmm. So we're on our way. Thank you for joining us and being with us all day long. Or if you just turned in recently, we are in the finals. We played Legacy and Modern today. Mm. And Nathan Steuer has been top dog for the entire stretch of the tournament. Can he finish it out? Both players into the Arena Qualifier weekend. One of these players out of the Arena Qualifier weekend with a win here as they advance straight on through. Now we have the first real choice of the game for Connor. Explore or Eldarmy's Call. Goes with the call and draws probably the perfect card. I'm guessing we have an issue with Becky's mic again, as I didn't hear anything from her, so she'll try and switch that around. Meantime, we'll continue this on. Nathan Steuer mounting an offense, which will...
Okay, we're going to change to this mic.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay,
so Becky's back again. And Kroxa comes down, which, in addition to costing Connor a card, will actually grow the Scourge of the Skycleaves. It will not. It could have if a land was discarded. Instead, Eldarmy's Call gets pitched. So the Scourge does not grow, irrelevant either way, as it eats a path. And, it seemed rough the way it started out, but Connor's just not in too bad a shape.
No, not in too bad a shape. Well, we're at a nice 16 life total. Going to go ahead and name Giant off of this Cavern of Souls. Mm-hmm. We've got this Eldarmy's Call that we're likely going to fire off on the end step, and Castle Garenbrig allows us to play the primetime next turn.
Yeah, so definitely there's an option here to Eldarmy's Call for a Reclaimer and play it down this turn, mm-hmm. but by holding the call, Connor protects himself from a discard spell, because now there are effectively 2 Primeval Titans in his hand.
Mm-hmm. All right, throw another haste creature down here, play a land.
Yeah, but this is not the damage that Nathan is looking for.
No, not the damage, nor the damage to himself, for that matter, as we're at 13, and if there's Death Shadows in the hand.
Good point. Death Shadows are stranded at the moment.
All right, let's see what Culligan's Command is able to do in this situation. I imagine that's what's being played for 1 red and 2 black.
I mean, it fits mana-wise. It's not exciting, though.
Certainly not exciting, but able to add a prowess trigger here and also get Connor to discard one of the 2 Castle Garenbrigs is going to be quite able to push through a little bit more damage. Now we're going to see what Primeval Titan has to say about this situation.
This is going to add a lot of bulk to the board. Plus, can Nathan's deck even kill a Primeval Titan? It's outside of its member range, so I don't know that there's any one card that can do it on its own. And
out
here's
of dismember range, out of fatal push range, out of
2 bullets, maybe. And even if he does manage to do it, Connor can play another one next turn, as the 2 lands that just got tutored up could fuel the Eldarmer's Call, leading to another Titan. And Nathan's been bashing people all day long, but I feel like already on this game, his routes to victory are closing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, if we had a big Death Shadow, we might be able to do blocking or at least attack through it, but then we have the zombies that are in play that can just block it forever, and maybe this deck is going to be the crutch of Nathan Steuer's hot run in the Red-Black Shadow deck.
Yeah, it's already starting to look like there's going to be zombies for chump blocking, so it might require a big Shadow or Scourge plus Battle Rage to get over a zombie, and Nathan's nowhere near that right now.
Nowhere near. And now this interaction is making me wonder, this Bomat Courier likely attacked just so it could be sacrificed. The 3 cards in Steuer's hand must be completely stranded or horrible.
Right. I mean, well, like you're saying, there could be Death Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Dismember. So Nathan was probably hoping for a Primeval Titan block. Doesn't get one. Instead, Dismember cranks off on the Titan and a Bolt. So the Titan does go down.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
This is a great turn by Nathan Steuer. The Swiftspear will live. The Bomat Courier now has fewer cards to throw away and will replace them. Unfortunately for Nathan, this Eldarmer's Call for Titan number 2 is just, it's like he has to start over again.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be quite backbreaking. And now we're seeing also Connor earlier in the game chose to do the Explore over the Eldarmer's Call and has used both of them, or in some way used both of them in quite a masterful way.
So, Vesuva proved to be rather important other time.
Last time.
So there's options here. Call could get Illusion. No, Call almost certainly is getting Primeval Titan again. Also, to make things worse, Blaststone kills Nathan's board. Not that that's too likely to come up, but
Vesuva can copy Field of the Dead, making even more zombies, and I just have a hard time believing that Nathan Steuer's deck can even get through that many zombies. We struggled with just 2 and a Primetime, and now this turn we could get another Primetime and even more than 2 zombies.
So, oh my goodness. So
and we'll just, it's a Valakut, it's fine.
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're unable to do Eldarmer's Call now.
The Call for Titan didn't work because there wasn't 2 green left over for the castle. So I thought we'd then see Call for Dry Illusion Grove, but there's not enough mana for that either. So instead, this turns out to be kind of a rather unimpressive turn for Connor based on what we expected and maybe what Nathan was probably worried about.
But we're going to continue into this game nicely, so we're going to be able to see quite a bit of interaction here. It looks like we are getting Kroxa back from the graveyard.
Wow.
I can't imagine what else cost that 4 mana.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You were right. That's what it's going to be. It's not. It's the Singleton in the deck, I think, and it's going to come through here and clear out the Valakut. So that takes the simplest route to victory away, but Call for Titan number 2 is still going to be
really difficult for us to deal with.
Yeah. Blaststone picks up a counter, so it can kill Kroxa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Oh, it's got to feel pretty bad to be Steuer right now and watch the Eldarmer's Call go into the graveyard and a Primeval Titan go into Connor's hand.
And, I mean, drawing a fetch land, I don't think Nathan needs it, but that's a whole pile of more zombies, too, right there.
Yeah, we're already getting 6. Much more than that. Yep.
Yes. And the Radiant Fountain to gain 2 life.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Be a little bit safer. And actually, this land actually plays a big role. In addition to generating a pile of zombies, without the land, there wasn't the mana to blow the Blast Zone up.
As if that, I guess that's relevant.
And down it goes. Connor takes up game one.
Game one where we were on the
thunderous
draw,
fashion
too.
Okay, so you talked about this deck. Oh, you're excited because it's a Reclaimer Dry Delusion Grove deck, not just a Primeval Titan deck. Mm-hmm. This game we watched to be nothing but a Primeval
Titan deck.
And it was plenty.
Yeah. I don't like watching it being a Primeval Titan deck, but that's maybe coming from years of playing Modern and being scarred by Primeval Titan for quite some time. It's banned in Commander for a reason, so
all right, it's
not quite as scary.
Connor Mullaly is on Twitter. If anyone wants to send him a message and tell him that Beky would prefer he won by different routes and not Primeval Titan, be my guest. Meantime, I'm sure Connor's a game away from a Pro Tour invite. He's probably going to do whatever he can. If he has to do it in a shameful Primeval Titan fashion, he's probably going to do it.
In this situation, I'll allow it. However, if we were at like some weekly event, I would prefer he didn't. Yeah. He didn't win with Primeval Titan, but we'll take a look at Steuer's sideboard and make some speculations as to what his plan is. I imagine those Blood Moons right in there.
Yeah, I think there's probably nothing better that he could have. Although we did see a Green-White Titan deck win through Blood Moons earlier, but even so, that's the go-to. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'm super excited about anything else. Angrath's Rampage could actually kill any of the nuisance creatures before the zombies start coming out. Does that matter? I would guess no, but...
What do you think about a card like Kozilek's Return for clearing up a load of zombies?
So that probably depends on Nathan's knowledge of the matchup. How often do you lose games to the hordes of zombies? I think we could argue that last game, the zombies didn't prevent Nathan from winning.
That's true.
So if you lose a lot of games to the zombie hordes, okay. If you lose a lot of games to the Valakites or to the Primeval Titan itself, then maybe that's a kind of waste of your time.
So it just depends on what you're most scarred by.
Yeah, sure. And so as far as what he doesn't need, I mean, that Croak set didn't amount to much. I could see that being pulled. Kolaghan's Command, I don't think is very exciting. Mm-hmm. Actually, we saw that cast also. So both of the, usually we feel like the gold cards are stronger than the single color cards. That's the, the benefit for the trade-off of them being hard to cast. And yet Nathan he has 2 gold cards in the deck. He cast both of them and he got swamped over that.
Yeah, they were a little unimpressive. So it's also possible that maybe some of the smaller haste creatures, it's hard to be like, oh, we want to win quickly, but they didn't really get the job done last game. But that could have been because we had these expensive gold cards that were hard to cast, and they didn't synergize with our small creatures that we put into play.
Yeah. Kolaghan's Command can kill Reclaimer, but yeah. So maybe that could stay in. I don't see it with Kroxa.
I think if they're playing a Reclaimer on turn 1, we're looking to either Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt it to get rid of it rather than spend 3 mana to kill a 1 mana creature.
Right. So that is maybe approximately what we expect to see. Battle Rages, I believe one of his earlier matches, we suggested that Nathan might take out the Battle Rages. I am quite certain they're going to stay in here. And in fact, that may be a more...
that might be the big win condition.
Yeah, that might be like if there's zombies on the board, Battle Rage is maybe a better win condition than Kozilek's Return to get through them. Anyway, we'll go down to the match once the players are situated for game 2 and see if Connor can wrap this thing up or if Nathan can get one game closer to an undefeated run through the tournament.
All right, we're seeing a mulligan for Connor 2-6, keeping 2 fetch lands, a Castle Garenbrig, 2 Celestial Purges, and Pass. So just not really anything that is any kind of plan with the deck that we've been seeing, but a whole heap of removal. So we'll see how much this removal really plays in, and kind of remaining that same way with Temple Garden as the draw for turn.
Yeah, this is... and of course, Nathan starts off with a creature that, despite having 3 removal spells, Connor probably doesn't want to bother killing.
Yeah, and it feels usually pretty bad to kill Swift Spear until it does like 7-ish damage to you, and then you're like, man, I really wish I would have gotten rid of that pesky little Swift Spear.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what we got here. We got a Bolt to increase the damage a little bit here. Notable that Celestial Purge is not just a removal spell for the red creatures. It can also, or the black creatures, it also can wipe out the Blood Moon.
Which could be very important as to why we kept a hand that maybe isn't the most exciting, but is going to be able to get rid of something that we imagine our opponent is bringing in. It is open deck list, so we do imagine that Connor was looking at the sideboard of Nathan Steuer and being like, what would my opponent bring in? Probably these Blood Moons against my Lands Matter deck.
Right. So we do see the basic planes fetched out. Eldragon's Call drawn. That's a nice card that can kind of fit the curve however Connor needs it to. And what can Nathan... Okay, Nathan starts with a Silent Clearing, draw a card. That's not too intimidating.
That's either really scary or really comforting.
Yeah, I vote for not scary.
Yeah, typically I would too. However, there's been a few times where it's been like, oh, all my hands are great, but they don't really line up with what lands I have, so I'll just go ahead and draw another one. Though, considering there is not another play coming out from Nathan Steuer this turn, I think that solidifies your point of view that it is not very scary.
All right. Primeval Titan is a selection, or a few turns away from that. But Connor getting ready for the future, I guess. So that might be scary for Nathan, but he does have some time. Skyclave Apparition is the draw. It's another thing that can remove a Blood Moon if there are 2 white available. But already we're kind of past the early Blood Moon damage point with the 2 basics in play. Does Nathan have a removal spell for the Apparition? I'm going to assume he does. That Lightning Bolt got used aggressively, so another removal spell would not surprise me at all. In which case, the Swift Spirit downgraded from a 1 power with prowess to just a 1 power, which is significant.
You got to get the job done with something, so at least the thing that would be coming into play can't be killed by Celestial Purge.
Well, that's a Dismember.
Oh.
You're right. It can't be killed by Celestial Purge.
It's a blue creature.
Yeah.
That might end up... well, probably won't end up mattering, but it could.
Here is a Thoughtseize. So Nathan sees that while he's got a couple more turns of offense to put together here, Connor doesn't have a lot going on.
Yeah, this is a good read. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Primeval Titan. So if there were some crazy things that Connor could do next turn, we just don't want to have to worry about that.
Nathan, with quite a few land here, which generally not great. And looking at the display, because of the Blood Moons. So the Lurrus has been disabled from Nathan's deck. So an attack for 7 here. Is that a spring? It is. It's a Spring Bloom Druid. Wow. That's, I guess, another tutor target. I actually had missed that was in the deck before, but another card that works great with Flagstones.
Yeah, the more I see cards like that, anything that is going with Flagstones, I'm like, ooh, cool, yes. Primeval Titan, nah. Flagstones of Trocaire, yes.
And also, oftentimes in Limited, the Springbloom Druid body is worthless. Here in Modern, it actually trades with the token. Nathan cantrips off Sunbaked Canyon, which was the draw for the turn. And makes the trade. Bolt is lethal here. Bolt is lethal from now on, would be a better way to put it.
Certainly relevant. Ooh, all right. Not relevant now, but it's certainly 1 land away from being relevant, which is also scary from Nathan's point of view. What did Nathan bring into his deck to make Lurrus no longer the companion, or have we just cleared that?
It's going to be the Blood Moons. Anything that
Blood
costs
Moons,
2,
yes.
That's the one, yeah.
All right. This is a tense point for us to be in.
Connor
at 3.
Connor draws a land, but it's a copy of one already in play, so he cannot play it and make a token. And Nathan puts himself down to 4 on the Whispers. 3 bolts left in the deck, probably, and another land. Someone do something. Oh,
all
Nathan
right.
does have the land, just waiting for the upkeep, and this will tie up the match.
All right.
Whoa, Connor was not getting out of this anytime soon.
Yeah, but we were going to see all of our Celestial Purges, just in case. We're really a big fan of drawing multiples of the same card today on this stream.
Yeah, we sure are.
We've seen a lot of Fatal Pushes, a lot of paths, compared to what we would feel like would be a normal amount to see. And we saw 3 out of our 4 Celestial Purchases in the top 10-ish cards of our deck there, so
seeing how Connor boarded, the Elvish Reclaimers came out as they are just
I guess they die to everything. Yes. It's fine.
Right. So they got pulled. I
understand, but I'm not happy about it.
Well, you just keep switching your allegiances. You're all in the little guys. Now the Titan cleaned up. Now you're back on the little guys, and they're gone. Connor is just toying with you.
He really is. I'm not a big fan of it, but I guess, he's just trying to do what it's going to take to win the game, and I can respect that.
Here we are. This will be the final game of the day, barring a draw, and I don't think that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do things look? Connor's opening hand is
a little scary.
Not great. We don't have access to white mana. We do have a cantrip.
How many white sources are played in the deck? I would imagine quite a few.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch. Connor did keep, and now it's on Nathan. Nathan keeps also. Both players on 7. This has got to be about at the bottom of the range for Connor's possible opening hands, so I have to assume that Nathan has a better hand at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Though if we do find a white source, this hand is nuts and is kind of exactly what you want to see against a deck like the one that Nathan Steuer is running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it will turn on the removal spells. It will turn on the call, which, given what Nathan is looking, now Nathan's going to be looking at it also. I was going to misspeak there. Nathan corrected me. So everyone's looking. Nathan, Connor, everyone watching the stream, us here in the virtual booth. Thoughtseize coming in. Are we taking Explore or are we taking Call? I feel like those are the 2 primary obvious choices.
I feel like you have to take Explore.
So you're trying to win off of kind of hoping Connor gets screwed. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's probably the choice I would make also.
Okay. I was going to say, would you go differently? I'm interested.
Yeah, I think that seems safe. Now, if Nathan has some good removal spells, he's even more likely to not care about the Elden Army's Call, as Primeval Titan is nowhere close to being cast.
Yeah.
So this may be a spot where it takes a path to exile. Okay. So Nathan is anticipating having to fight through a bunch of removal and just isn't interested in trying to win by cheesing Connor out.
Nathan's like, I'm going to make this a good game for everyone to watch, or at least try to, and takes the path. Hopefully we'll get to see some big creatures come down from Steuer's side as a response to the removal spell being taken out of Connor's hand. And we're immediately getting to see that either the Forest was the draw for turn or the draw off the Explorer. Likely just the one of them, as we know that if we had another land, it would also go into play, Explorer allowing us to play an extra land for the turn. That isn't the case. We're going to go ahead and stay at kind of a normal rate. Oh, no, the Forest is the extra land that we put.
Yeah, okay.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
I was going to back up there a little bit, but you got it.
We just watched this deck ramp so quickly in all the other games that I just imagine we're on turn 6 already. It's fine.
Okay, so we see here Nathan taking his time on turn 2. He knows everything except the Dryad. So if he has a discard spell and he's trying to decide whether it's worth casting, if he knew the Dryad was there, I'm sure he would cast it. But he may not. So, okay. And there's all kinds of options. We know Scourge, actually neither one of the heavy hitting creatures can be cast at this point.
Both would not do so well right now.
Yeah. Okay, so Swift Spear shows up again. Nathan is doing an excellent job of drawing Swift Spears. Whether that's actually helpful or not, I'm not sure.
In this situation, I'm not sure that it is. We are going to hope that Steuer has a removal spell for this Dryad, at least, because I imagine that has to be the thing that comes down. Ooh, are we listening to No Rain? All right.
Oh, I don't
know how people listen to music and play Magic at the same time. I feel like if I'm listening to music, I cannot concentrate on Magic, and it's impossible.
Okay, so Connor passes on playing the Dryad, maybe thinking it's too valuable. He can't let it get killed, so he's just going to wait.
So we're just choosing to do nothing and kind of make it obvious that we're doing nothing?
Yeah.
I think that that's an interesting play. However...
Okay, well, this Blood Moon isn't... I mean, as soon as the Dryad comes down, the Blood Moon may as well not exist at the moment. Actually, it helps Nathan. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, it helps Connor.
Yeah.
Now the land, this multi-purpose plains comes into play untapped.
Yep.
Worked out tremendous for Connor. Wow. So
Connor making a really big heads-up play in waiting to play the Dryad and at least getting some value out of it here.
Look at this. Now pathing his own Dryad to get another land. The path is open for Nathan to attack, but this was not a good exchange for
Not a good exchange, and we're not quite pushing through enough damage.
No, and we've reached the point where Connor can now use the Knight to kill the Blood Moon and may not even bother.
Yeah. May just gain some life or make the Knight of Autumn bigger. See a Knight's Whisper? Croaks. Okay.
Did stay in.
Right, we'd assumed that he had taken them out of his deck.
Yeah, so it's still there. And here's a Shadow, and the Croaksa can come back. So let's see what
do you want to do? Okay, you do want to destroy the Blood Moon? Okay, acceptable.
Blood Moon goes down, but the cards in hand are uncastable for the moment, and there's a 2/1 in play. So Swift Spear with any sort of trigger will actually survive, but if Nathan wants to bring out Croaksa, then Swift Spear's trading, which is also fine. I'm starting to get worried for Connor's position here. This is he looked very safe, and now he looks safe-ish, but he's there's no good option for Alarmy's Call, I don't think, at this point. And the Croaksa, nothing's going to stop this Croaksa from getting in on the next turn. Which
I'm trying to think, if we get a Springbloom Druid can only get basic lands, correct?
Right. It can get snow coverage, so it can diversify for
Field of the Dead. Oh,
Purge is
all right. That was a good draw. That's what we were looking for.
Crucial draw. The call still can't be cast now, but
it'll keep us in this game.
Yeah, for the moment, Nathan continues to add pressure. The Blood Moon going. Oh boy.
All right.
The Blood Moon going down unlocks the Sunbaked Canyon also, and tells Nathan, because he can bobble himself here, which he does, to see if he wants to draw a card now or not. And Purge, I really don't think we want Croaksa to attack.
No, I really don't think that we do, which means that we likely have to do this now. At least Celestial Purge is also going to exile Croaksa.
Right, that's true. Connor giving it some thought, but
I'm not sure why.
I don't feel like he has a choice. He's in a lot of trouble here. This really turned in the last couple moves. The Blood Moon didn't even seem like it mattered.
But it ended up mattering quite a bit.
It mattered a little bit, and Nathan did have to blow it up. But it's really just a matter of Connor not developing into... I mean, the one Dryad died, and with the Reclaimers out of the deck, there's just fewer, Haymaker cards, and Connor needs a Titan, and is that what he's thinking about here? Is the pause here he's thinking about using Eldarmy's Call to tutor for Titan and hoping to draw land? No, I'm sorry. He doesn't have to draw.
He does have to draw land. He needs 2 green to activate Castle Garenbrig anyway.
You're right. So, but is that the consideration here?
You lose if you... I think that you have to do this.
But how do you... I don't know.
But how are you winning?
That turn. Now, how is he winning? If you chump block here, you're dead next turn to any spell. Nathan has a card coming from the bauble, if nothing else. And this is tough. This is going to decide the tournament. Nathan Steuer has a Scourge. This might be just
it's an 11
much to overcome. There's now multiple lethal cards that you can explore, and Connor Mullaly is gonna come up short in this top 8. There's a land.
It all eventually is coming down to the keep that we had at the start.
It was just. It was.
We can't even play any of our creatures because they're all green creatures.
We could have wished for Florahedron and cast it. It doesn't matter. Nathan Steuer takes it down. Nathan Steuer, this was his day. Undefeated in Legacy, undefeated in Modern, played out the rounds. He didn't have to. Won more, and then sweeps the top 8, bashes everybody. Connor Mullaly comes up just short with Green White Titan. But congratulations to Nathan Steuer. 19 years old, on his way to another Pro Tour. Good for him.
Congrats, Nathan Steuer. It was looking a little scary. We watched that game 1, and it seemed like it was going to be really hard for Nathan to be able to pull through the zombies and just like the amount of value that green-white deck can pull out. But he was like, watch this. I got this. It's fine.
Yeah.
And even took the card that we didn't want to take and was just like, I don't have to worry about it. It's fine.
In game 3, I mean, he played the Blood Moon, and I just didn't think the Blood Moon looked that impressive.
Yeah.
But really, yeah, it came down to Connor was behind the whole time because the hand just didn't develop well. Chose not to play anything on when he first could have played the Dryad. I think was correct in that.
I do think it was correct as well, yes.
And then, but he was just slow out of the gates. Before we get to the other things, let's go ahead and put Nathan's deck up on the screen again, if we have that available. This is the deck. Won the tournament. Won Nathan Steuer a pile of cash. We'll get to that in a second. And also an invite to the Pro Tour. Red, black, Death Shadow. I've seen 4-color Death Shadow as well. Nathan just going with a 2-color version here. Clean. And gets it done.
Yeah, getting it done. I mean, again, it's just a clean list. I mean, I've always thought that Death Shadow decks were really cool the way that they work together and just use this like single mana creature is just like this huge payoff. And it's cool to see what's led us to not a Grixis version, just red, black, and just trying to be removal and creatures and aggro and removal. Some fun things on the side, but also getting to play Luris, I think, is a big plus.
Yeah,
getting to play with it. Yeah, it mattered a lot in one of the games, and it's cool to see how the companions are impacting. Not as much as when they first came out, thank goodness, but still having some impact in these modern games. And Nathan Steuer taking it down with a clean list.
Yeah, I mean, just if you look at this deck list, I mean, assuming he doesn't have 6 lands and 2 spells, it's really just impossible for Nathan not to have a functional hand. All these cards just work, and they're all cheap. There's no reliance on the graveyard like we've seen in some other lists with Tarmogoyfs and Grimoire Yanglers. And it just gets the job done. So congratulations to Nathan Steuer. Let's go ahead and take a look at what all the players competing won today. Our prize support for the event. Nathan Steuer takes home $800 alongside his invite to the Kaldheim Championship and loses his invite to the Arena Qualifier weekend. I know I'm a dork saying that, but I love it. I think it's so amusing. Connor Mullaly takes out $500, $300 for our top 4 competitors, and $150 for the top 8, as well as all 7 of them receiving invites to the Kaldheim Qualifier weekend on Arena. Now, this was our first multi-format online event offered by Nerd Rage. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I think it went well. Some of the potential issues we were worried about, players changing decks halfway through, wasn't an issue. Everything went smooth. Becky, thanks for being here. You were awesome to have on.
Thanks so much.
We'll give you a chance both to talk about all right. So you kind of, geeked out over the non-Primeval Titan portion of that deck.
Yes.
Then it kind of served its way back. Out of our 2 final decks, if you have to play an event tomorrow for something that matters to you, which deck of those 2 are you registering?
Oh, well, if it was tomorrow, I would play the Shadow deck because I feel like that one is... I don't want to say easier and make it sound like, obviously there's a lot of nuances in Magic. There's a lot of things that are difficult and can come up, and knowing matchups matters a lot. So I'm not going to say because but it does look like all those cards I've played with before, a lot of the cards that are in the green-white deck, I haven't played with before, and I haven't played that style of deck so much, so I would be less attuned with that, and I feel like I could pilot the Shadow deck better.
Would you feel like you were in a good spot playing your Tron deck against either one of them?
Certainly not against the Shadow deck, probably not against the green-white deck.
Yeah,
so if I'd have brought the deck that I wanted to bring, I would have been screwed.
Yeah, okay. So this was joy to have you here.
Thanks so
we
much.
heard about the VML earlier today. You're a part of that also. So for people that have showed up more in the last couple hours, why don't you go ahead? We'll give you a minute. You can talk about your role in the VML as part of that, and anything else you want to say. We can pop the slide back up again.
Yeah. Hook up. All right, yeah, so I'm a part of the VML, which is the Venus and Mercury League. We are going into our 4th season at the early beginning of next year. It is a competitive Magic the Gathering environment for persons of marginalized genders. And we are starting our signups on Monday. So tomorrow, very exciting, we did cap in 48 hours in season 3. So if you are interested, our entry actually went down from $25 to $10, so it's a lot more accessible, but that might mean that it fills up a lot faster. So mark your calendars for tomorrow. It'll be going up. Hopefully it will fill up pretty fast. And first place is like this event. Invite to the Kaldheim Championships and some nice cash prizing and also some CFB Pro goodness in there too, and also just a great community.
So you are part of the commentary for this. Are you playing also, or?
Yes, I will also be playing. Deck lists are weekly and open, so I, as well as the other commentators who usually play as well, have no advantage from being a part of the commentary team. And yeah, we all play. We support our players, and yeah, I'm a commentator along with Lady of the Crease, Nefet, and the Mighty Linguini, who you saw earlier on this.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to that. Those broadcasts are on Friday afternoons. Registration is tomorrow. The event doesn't start for an actual couple weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, it starts in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So watch out for that. If you're interested in signing up, it's going to be signups are on the Nerd Rage Gaming page on MTG Melee. It's not currently available. It will be tomorrow once signups open. I believe at noon Mountain Time, which Caroline insisted on saying, even though I'm pretty sure there's only 11 people that live in the Mountain Time Zone, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should have been Pacific Time because Pacific Time is the best time, but
Obviously.
she insists on it being Mountain Time.
All right. Well, Beky, thanks for being here. And thanks to all of you that watched us today and this year. This was a trying year for a lot of people. We managed to run 2 paper events back in January and February. And then we spent the rest of the year after a break trying to figure out what kind of offerings we could give to you online. We tried a couple weekly smaller events, invitation events. We ran our series of 5 trials this fall, culminating in the Showdown today, awarding $2,500 and a Pro Tour invite that we're proud to give away. Thanks for being with us. We look forward to bringing you our offerings next year. They haven't been solidified yet. We're trying to wait, as a lot of people probably are, to see really how things shake out as far as availability, safety, when paper events can resume. Probably not looking at anything in the first half of the year, but look for us to have some hopefully quality offerings that we can bring you in the same space as we are here on Nerd Rage Online. So thanks for being with us. On behalf of owner Norman Cohen, tournament director and software organizer Max Kahn, and our commentators today, Beky Bell, Anurag Das, and Caroline Kavanaugh, I'm Joe Lossett. We'll see you next time. Have a good